Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this September the 4th, 2023. I'm hoping everybody's having a great Labor Day out there so far. Everybody continues to stay safe and well, and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay, I'm hoping everybody's having a great day and a wonderful Labor Day as well. All right. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the tropics here across the tropical Atlantic. We're going to be keeping an eye on this system right here. Also, we're going to be watching this monster storm system here moving off the African coast. Looks pretty well organized already. I wouldn't be surprised it's already a tropical storm moving off the African coast the way this system looks. But the National Hurricane Center do have this system here marked as a system to move offshore and maybe become something tropical in nature. This is 95L. We'll discuss that in just a few minutes as well. This is the remnants of kind of like Gert. Gert and kind of just spread it out across the tropical Atlantic. Katia, just a depression. Ain't gonna worry about her at all. Over here near Europe. Here are the remnants of Adelia, pounding Nova Scotia and St. John's Island up in portions of northern Canada. Just as expected, that I've been predicting for the last several videos before. Just want to give you a little information on this here. Plus, we're going to be, like I say, we're going to be talking about Invest 95L. Like I say, this is it right here. Also, we're going to be taking a look at the weather radar across the nation. We're going to take a look at the watches, warning, and advisory map. And also, we're going to take a look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook for today, Wednesday, and Thursday for some severe weather. No, today, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, excuse me, through Wednesday. I was thinking day Tuesday. I'm getting ahead of myself, folks. Sorry about that. Today, Tuesday, and Wednesday, severe weather outlook across the nation. All right. If you're a new viewer and you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and consider subscribing. Love to have you. Like these videos, share these videos. Consider subscribing once again. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button if you do not mind. I greatly appreciate it. I'm trying to remind y'all folks, if y'all have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead. Alright, let's go ahead and get the show on the road there, folks. That's enough rambling on for a while, so we're going to go ahead and get on to the forecast now. Alright. As you can see, as we started off the video, here's the remnants of Adelia up here in Nova Scotia, St. John's Island, rainfall. Here's the remnants of Gert, kind of got caught up with a frontal boundary. It's kind of not doing too good. Also, here's the depression Katia over here. Invest 95L, and this system here coming off the African coast. Like I said, it's a pretty healthy looking system here. This one here going to probably ramp up real quick. I would not be surprised it become a tropical storm as soon as it moves off the coast of Africa, the way that system looks. We got some scattered activity moving towards central South America, toward the Dominican Republic, and also down toward Jamaica. Also some down in the northwestern Caribbean Sea, but no activity organized at this time. So scattered activity, scattered about across in the Eastern Pacific, right along the Central America, Mexico coastal areas. As it moves off to the east, I would not be surprised some of these systems may become a tropical storm later on down the road as well. Got some scattered activity over portions of Louisiana and the portions of Texas. And also back up here in the Pacific Northwest, also in the northern portions of the Midwest as well. Alright, let's move on to the information on 95L. Here's the satellite imagery of 95L this afternoon. Getting this act together pretty well. It's still poorly organized right now. That's why they have not classified it as a tropical depression yet, because it has not got no center of circulation in it yet. It's just a big cluster of showers and storms just kind of just meandering around in the tropical Atlantic. Alright, let's take a look at the we're going to take a look at the hurricane models from the global forecast for 95L. We're going to take a look at them real quick. and then we'll take a look at the intensity guidance as well. All right, here are the current position of this morning. Continues to slide on off to the west-northwest. Kind of gets pretty close to these northern windward and leeward islands here. System, according to this, is pretty well compacted. It keeps it pretty well in a straight line going to the west-northwest over the next days from now, just kind of just east of the Bahamas. So anybody in the Bahamas, like I said, the windward islands, Storm Lee. Well, first it become Tropical Depression 13, then Tropical Storm Lee. All right, let's take a look at the GEF it'll be next year before it comes up, but I think it's coming up now. I'm just joking about that. But here's some of the long range models. This is the GEF ensembles for 95L. Pretty well compacted. See, these here, it takes it pretty close. See, the center line there is what takes it towards the west-northwest. Then it looks like it kind of bends it off to the north. I think there's going to be a cold front coming in sometime later during that forecast period that may push this system out to sea. So we'll have to wait and see if that cold front pushes it out to sea, or if there's a trough that catches it and could pull it to the west. But right now, all the models now is currently taking it to the west-northwest, then it's going to take it to the north. But if it gets into a major hurricane, eventually it will take off to the northeast, because the stronger the storm is, the more the storm will turn off to the right. If the weaker the storm is, the more it will continue to move on its westward path. I learned that from a couple meteorologists there that I watch on here. So I learned a little something from them as well. Alright, but like I say, pretty much if the storm is pretty strong, they'll turn off to the right. Most of the time, if they really strong, they'll eventually turn off to the right, to the north. And then eventually the weaker they are, the more west they go, the more stronger it is, the more they'll turn off to the north. But anyway, just give you a little information on that. Alright, let's take a look at the intensity guidance, then we'll take a look at the weather radar. Alright, here's the information here. It's about 30 knot winds. Then it takes into a tropical storm. And a good many of the models now are taking it into a Category 3 and a Category 4 hurricane. I would not be surprised to see this thing ramp up to a Category 5 as well, as it continues to move to the west-northwest over the next several days. This will run out to 168 hours, so this is about 5 days out. This is why they're thinking it may get up to a Category 3 and a Category 4 hurricane in the tropical Atlantic. Alright, well, let's move on to the weather radar across the nation, so that way you get a chance to see where the precipitation is falling across the board. Let it load up here real quick. We got some showers over here around the New York City area, just east of Philadelphia. Also over here just east of Richmond, Virginia, and also into the coastal water. Also, we got some showers and storms over northern Minnesota, up into southeast Canada, over here just west of Winnipeg, Canada, and also just southwest of Regina, Canada as well. Extending back down into Montana, back into Idaho, around Salt Lake City, you're getting some shower and storm activity. Also around Wyoming, also in the portion of Colorado, a little bit in Nebraska and South Dakota, back up into North Dakota as well. Scattered activity over here in northwestern Montana, also in the northern Idaho, and also northeastern Washington State, and also southern Canada as well. Alright, let's take our tour to the south a little bit. Here's some showers and storms over here in portions of Texas, also in the eastern Oklahoma, also in portions of Arkansas as well, some showers and storms there. Let it reload the information there. Alright, got Showers and storms, like I said, scattered throughout Arkansas, but more widespread in the western portion of Arkansas. Scattered activity in just northeast of St. Louis, St. Louis, Missouri, and also in the southern Illinois. Also some scattered activity over here in western Tennessee, just east of Memphis, south of Memphis, and also in the northern Mississippi. Also some showers and storms down around Louisiana to the Gulf of Mexico. Louisiana's getting in on some activity. Also the Gulf of Mexico, also just north of Havana, Cuba, and the Florida Keys area. Some down here around in the eastern portions of Puerto Rico. Also southern portion of Puerto Rico, eastern Dominican Republic. Also some down around in the Gulf of Mexico, the Caribbean Sea, and just north of Cuba as well. Alright, let's move on to the watches, warning, and advisory map for your location across the nation. Alright, as you can see here, we got some heat advisory for portion of Vermont in the New York State, also over in portion of Wisconsin, also in the Minnesota as well. We got some special weather statements there as well for portion of Illinois, also in the portion of eastern portion of Iowa, much of Minnesota, much of Wisconsin as well, northern Michigan. We got some severe weather down here in portion of Louisiana with some flash flooding, flood advisory there as well. Heat advisory is also in effect for southern Texas, special weather statement there as well. Red flag warning for central and northern Texas, western Oklahoma, southern Kansas, northeastern New Mexico, southeastern and eastern Colorado, western portions of Kansas as well. Also some wind advisory for portion of Wyoming, hydro issues there as well. Air quality alert for portion of Montana, smoke, let's see, I think that's see, they ain't got it, but that's a dense smoke advisory supposed to be for portions of Montana. Air quality alert for portion of Oregon as well. Alright, down in Alaska, we still got those special weather statements in that one little area of flood watches in effect for central Alaska. The Hawaiian chain island looks a-okay. Alright, we're moving on to the Storm Prediction Center. Alright, it's coming up. Okay, as you can see, we got general thunderstorms in South Florida, Florida Keys, also in Alabama, Mississippi, back into Texas, also back into North Texas, all the way back into Montana and the Minnesota. We have a marginal risk down in Louisiana, northern Louisiana through Arkansas in the portion of Missouri. Excuse me, also again over here in portion of Nebraska, and also in Wyoming, back in the portion of North and South Dakota, and also in the Minnesota. Slight risk for severe weather over portions of Wyoming into the Dakotas as well. Alright, if you live in the Rapid City, South Dakota, Bismarck, North Dakota, Gillette, Wyoming, Madden, North Dakota, Dickinson, North Dakota, slight risk for severe weather this afternoon. Also, if you live in Memphis, Tennessee, Little Rock, Arkansas, Fargo, North Dakota, North Little Rock, Arkansas, and Jonesboro, Arkansas, you're under a slight risk for severe weather this afternoon. Tornado probability, less than 2% all areas. Damaging winds, 5% to brown, 15 to yellow. The yellow slashed area, significant severe winds. This will include Bismarck, North Dakota, Madison, North Dakota, Jamestown, North Dakota. That's the significant area for damaging winds. If you live in Rapid City, South Dakota, Bismarck, North Dakota, Gillette, Wyoming, Madden, North Dakota, and Dickinson, North Dakota, 15% risk for severe weather. Damaging winds, excuse me. Also, if you live in Memphis, Tennessee, Little Rock, Arkansas, Fargo, North Dakota, Little Rock, Arkansas, Jonesboro, Arkansas, 5% risk for a damaging wind gust. Also, the hail probability, 5% in the brown, 5% in the brown, 15 in the yellow. If you live in Rapid City, South Dakota, Bismarck, North Dakota, Madden, North Dakota, Spearfish, South Dakota, Rapid Valley, South Dakota, 15% risk for large hail. And if you live in Little Rock, Arkansas, Fargo, North Dakota, North Little Rock, Arkansas, Jonesboro, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Arkansas, 5% risk for large hail for today. Alright, now let's move on to your Tuesday forecast. from the Storm Prediction Center. Alright, still got those general thunderstorms for South Florida and Florida Keys, down to Louisiana, East Texas, all the way up into portions of the Dakotas, also into Michigan as well, and also a little bit over here in Nevada, back into portions of Idaho, and into Wyoming and northern portions of Utah. Marginal risk in the portion of the Dakotas, also into Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, the portion of northern Michigan. Also same areas as well for the slight risk. Pretty much Minnesota and Wisconsin as well. Alright, if you live in Minneapolis, Minnesota, St. Paul, Minnesota, Duluth, Minnesota, Bloomington, Minnesota, Plymouth, Minnesota, slight risk for severe weather. On your Tuesday, if you live in Sioux Falls City, South Dakota, Rochester, Minnesota, Fargo, North Dakota, Sioux City, Iowa, and Waterloo, Iowa, marginal risk for severe weather. Tornado probability, 2% in the Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and northern Iowa. This includes Minneapolis, Minnesota, St. Paul, Minnesota, Rochester, Minnesota, Duluth, Minnesota, and Bloomington, Minnesota. 2% risk for a tornado on your Tuesday. Damaging winds, 55% in brown, 15 in the yellow. If you live in Minneapolis, Minnesota, St. Paul, Minnesota, Duluth, Minnesota, Bloomington, Minnesota, Plymouth, Minnesota, 15% risk for damaging wind. If you live in Sioux Falls City, South Dakota, Rochester, Minnesota, Sioux City, Iowa, Waterloo, Iowa, and La Crosse, Wisconsin, 5% risk for damaging winds. Let's take a look at the hail probability. Same areas, 5%, 15, 15% Minneapolis, Minnesota, all the way to Plymouth, Minnesota, and surrounding areas. That's the 15% area. All right, if you live in Sioux City, South Dakota, to Waterloo, Iowa, and surrounding areas, 5% risk for large hail. Alright, let's move on to day number 3. This will be your Wednesday forecast. Alright, as you can see here, we got general thunderstorm for portions of the northeast United States, down into the Carolinas. Same down here in southern Florida, the Florida Keys, back to Texas, Louisiana, back to portions of Minnesota and Wisconsin area. Marginal risk then from portions of Arkansas, Tennessee, all the way into Michigan as well. Alright, if you live in Chicago, Illinois, Indianapolis, Indiana, Memphis, Tennessee, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Nashville, Tennessee, marginal risk for severe weather. I would not be surprised to see maybe this here may get some areas could move into a slight risk category. I would not be surprised to see that as well. 5%, same area, Chicago, Illinois, to Nashville, Tennessee, including Indianapolis, Indiana, Memphis, Tennessee, and Milwaukee, Wisconsin, for severe weather on Wednesday. Alright, well, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Everybody continue to stay safe and well. Enjoy the weather, because it's the only weather you got. Like these videos, share these videos, consider subscribing if you have not. And we'll catch you back in the next video. So take care and have a wonderful Labor Day, folks.